Big Z Reviews. Emilia Pérez is a new musical that has been nominated for some of the most awards you can be nominated for at the Oscars. I think 13. But at the same time, I think it's the worst musical I've ever seen. And it's just, it's weird. It's weird that this movie is being recognized for being so good when almost anyone normal that watches it goes, oh wow, this is really bad.
Hello, very nice to meet you. I'd like to know about sex change operation.
I see. Men to woman, or woman to men.
Man to woman.
From penis to vagina. Is it for you?
For me?
So this was written and directed by Jacques Oidard, which is like a random French dude that thought he could get a bunch of awards by writing an opera about a transsexual head of a cartel in Mexico. And he films in France, and he uses all non-Mexican actresses, or like most of the actresses aren't Mexican and a lot of them aren't they're English speaking primarily, and it's an interesting choice. And I've seen a lot of people talking about this film, and I never got around to watching it because I saw clips of it. Like, I do not need to see that. The music is horrible. But after seeing so much discussion about it, I had to give it a watch. And then it's on Netflix. But like, immediately, the music is bad. And I feel like I feel other people can talk about this much better than I can. But like, in Spanish, a lot of the songs have a unique rhythm and flow to them, and it feels like the Jacques does not know how to write songs for the Spanish language. Like it doesn't have that rhythm. Like I said, the only one song that was passable was one done by Zoe Saldana when Carla Sofia Gazon is doing a speech trying to get more money for her thing to find all the bodies that people she'd murdered, to find their bodies, and she's giving a good speech, and Zoe Saldana is going around picking their pockets and saying how horrible they are. That's kind of the only one that has an interesting rhythm and is fun. But some of the other ones, I almost want. It feels like, is this a comedy? Is this making a mockery of it? Everyone has probably seen the clip. Hello, nice to meet you. I'd like to talk about sex change operations. I see. Man to woman, woman to man, penis to vagina, and I think the name of the song is Vaginoplasty or something like that. And I think that's the biggest problem. There's this random Asian doctor that they have is, I see. There's a way to do it where you could make it more lyrical and better. But the whole movie's like that. And I think too, they have the thing that Carla Sofia Gazon, she's apparently an incredibly bad person. She's a super racist, Islamophobic, and she hates black people and Asian people, and she tweeted it all, and she left the tweets up, and people found them and translated them, and they're like, that's really bad. And then she's doing interviews and saying, oh, I may not have been the best person decades ago. And it's this was last year. This is a year ago. I think you're still that person. And she can't sing. She is a trans woman, and it's an amazing accomplishment to be the first trans woman to receive a nomination for an Oscar. And her acting is pretty good. But her singing is shit. She doesn't have a voice. And it was revealed that, and you could tell, they revealed that they did AI to help her voice. And you can see, she's singing raspy like a singing voice, and then every once in a while she'll hit a note, and then there's like I think, oh, that was AI. Yeah, that note she hit, that was definitely AI. And I mean, and Selena Gomez is pretty bad. Zoe Saldana, she's the only one that actually is decent in some of the singing and the acting. Like, as she deserves like at least some sort of nomination, I think, probably for this. But again, it's a musical with some of the worst music I've ever heard. And the actual main story, I feel like there was a much more comedic cut of this. I mean, you're dealing with the cartel leader like becoming a woman, and like, but there's a decent part of the story which is just a retelling of Mrs. Doubtfire. Like, literally, this is a Mrs. Doubtfire musical, but with the cartel and in Mexican, and in Mexico with its Spanish language singing. Like, after he gets the sex change, becomes a woman. As the time goes by, and she like the kids don't age much for this, so it hasn't been that long. But like she brings like her widow and their kids to live with her as she was her former self's cousin, and now like she wants to treat like or sister, cousin or sister. I think maybe sister, but like now wants them to treat her like their aunt. But like she's pretty, but she's a big woman, and Selena Gomez never says, "You look a bit like my husband," and like even like it's so funny at a certain point, like she like is still a violent, horrible person. And then she's like, Selena Gomez is gonna leave, and like and take the kids, and he's like, "No, you not take my kids." Like he does the old weird raspy voice that she had when it was a cartel leader, and like her voice completely changes back to that raspy male voice, and she's very violent, and then and like I was like, oh, she's gonna know what this is now. And then I was like, no, there's still a whole nother act with like a kidnapping plot. And then it's only till the very end of the movie where she's like, "I'm not Emilia Pérez. I'm your husband." And it's like I thought you knew from before. Like, oh, okay. Like and so much of it is just really bad and really problematic when you view that like an outsider telling a story about like this is a white cis man from France, like telling a story about cartels in Mexico, about how like a leader that wants to change and realizes that what she did before she transitioned, that she really killed a lot of people, led to all these thousands of missing men and the families that don't know where they are. So she decides to become like to help them and try to find all of them and try to pay back for her what she did. And it's kind of the concept of like, can you like can you still be a good person after doing so much evil? Like there's some interesting stuff in here, but then there's so much bullshit, and it's like so much just this weird French guy filming this in France. And even some of the interviews with them like, oh, I wanted to get like Mexican actresses, but they were when I got them they were so good I had to use them. You know, what do you want me to do? You know, it's very odd, and it's just not good. I'd probably give like a 5 out of 10. It's just parts of the movie were interesting and well done, but the music is the worst part. The music is just bad. Like music is a 1 out of 10. But thanks for watching. If you want to see more, you can subscribe down below. Thanks.